Today we'll start that Hello World program also. So I will try to explain that this Anypoint Studio IDE. So then how to write the program also we'll see today. So we'll start the basics. First we'll see this Anypoint Studio. So for this you need to download that Anypoint Studio. So just Google it, Anypoint Studio free download. So you will get it. You have to sign up for that actually. Anypoint Studio download. It will ask the sign up. So this is the Anypoint Studio. So we have to fill these details. It's a mandatory. So then I have to fill it. So then click download. So we'll get two options, either Linux or else Windows. Based on your operating system, you can able to download. Okay, now. So this is the link.
Okay.
It is a 30 days trial version actually.
Okay.
After that, again you can able to download, or else already you after downloading you will get a zip formatter, right? So after 30 days we can exist when whatever you unzip it, right? Just close it, just remove it. Then already existing one is there, no? Just again you can unzip it. Then can you continue?
Okay.
You know, that's what this is a link. I'm pinging in chat. Just save it these links.
Yeah, sure. I'll see.
That's any point studio link. So once downloaded, so then it is in the format of this. We'll show you that one also. Okay, now so this will come like this actually. So either based on your operating system, either 64-bit or else 32-bit, right? So accordingly, you have to download it. So then once you download it, so right click on it, unzip it. So use some software, some zip software is there now. You are aware that, so right. So unzip it using that, then you will get like this. So you will get a shortcut like this. Just double click on the shortcut. So you can able to see that this type of IDE will open.
Okay.
Okay, no. So it's like a Eclipse actually. So you already idea about Java, right? So you are using Eclipse,
Yeah.
right? So for implementing Java coding, right? So this is almost
Yeah.
same actually. So what these people did, on the top of the Eclipse, they implemented this Anypoint Studio with extra features. Understood, right? Eclipse also freeware now, right? So
Yeah.
they took that code on top of that, they returned that Anypoint Studio, some extra plugins. Okay. So here I will show you. I'll try to explain all the parts in this. So this is console, right? In Eclipse also we have a console, right? In this all the
Yeah.
logs will display, right? So whatever you whenever you will compile it, whenever you will deploy the application, right? Right, so that time all the logs will display in the console. So compile means, so we'll write some coding, right? So our code should be compiled. So because according to Java, right, these MuleSoft all is internally they return using Java only. All the components, whatever the components we are using, whatever the components we are drag and drop into the middle, right? So that is nothing but a Java code only. So that should compile. Everything should compile. Apart from that, so sometimes you can write transformers. Extra. Yesterday we explained, right? I explained, right? So if there is no proper component, so we need to use some transformers to convert to one format to another format. Further, we can able to write Java code. So that Java code should be converted into .class format, right? So whenever you compile the program, so that will convert into .class, right? If there is a Java code, so how it will happen? So whatever the program it is, suppose my program name is source.java. So we have to convert into, so using Java compiler. So using Java compiler, that is a Java C. So that will convert into source dot class, right?
Yes.
After that, what we'll use? We have to use JVM, right? So Java virtual machine we have to use. Then it will convert into exe source dot exe file, right? That is executable file. Finally it will run it, right? So this is human readable format, so mission can't able to understand this language. That's why, so we need to use a Java compiler, so that will convert into source dot class. Then this is a zeros and ones and bytes format. Actually this language machine can able to understand, so that's why you need to convert it. Then once this is done, so we have to use JVM, Java Virtual Machine, to run this code. Actually finally we'll get the output whenever we'll run this program. This um, uh, things happen in the Java actually. So here compilation means this is actually, so you'll use Java C, it will internally compile that, it will convert it to source dot class. Here also same thing happened. Once you've done the project, once you've done the program, we need to compile it actually. So here there is a default option is there actually. If you see here project
Okay.
build automatically option is there. Whenever you refresh it, whenever write that, save it, after that automatically compilation happened actually. No need to compile it actually. Understood? If you use the
Yes.
IDE, if you use the IDE, that automatically compilation happen. If we write the program externally outside, we need to compile it using the Java C, right?
Yes.
Outside we have to open the command prompt, we have to write that command, right? Then you have to compile it. If you write outside, if it is an IDE, but in the project, so we choose that option build automatically. Whenever you save the program or else whenever you refresh that program, automatically compilation happen. So that is the thing here. So just I'm trying to create a sample project, hello world project. Similar way in Eclipse actually. Same way even Java project also will create it actually. So go to file. These are almost all tabs are in Eclipse also there, right?
Yes. Yes.
In Eclipse, what we'll do if you want any extra plugin, if you need to want to add it, what we'll do, we'll go to help. So we'll use install new software, right? Do you
Yes.
remember?
Uh, yes. Yes. I do remember. So
Yes.
for
So
installation, any plugins or
yes, exactly. So similarly here also, if you want to any extra plugin, so you have to use that install new software. Then you have to add accordingly. You have to search for install that particular software, or else you can add. You can use either link, or else you can search for that particular software. Understood? So that is
yeah.
the way. So then go, go to file, then click this, then choose the mail project. This option automatically will come, that mail project. So using this we can create Java project also. If you type here search for Java project, you can create Java project also using this. Okay, now, but here we are creating mail project, new mail project, like that. So here whenever you click that, so one dialog will pop up. This dialog will pop up. So we have to give the project name. Before that, so we have to whenever you download this latest version of the Anypoint Studio, this mail server automatically will come. If not come, suppose what, so according to latest version, this server is by default it's coming. If not come, so what we need to do, so go to that here, help, install new softwares. Okay, so choose that available sites, all available site. So here search for server. Understood,
Okay.
right?
So
Search for server.
yes.
So here different types of servers will come in actually. What was the latest version? 3.8.3 is the latest. Suppose if your client is in lower version, accordingly you have to choose that lower version runtime server actually.
Okay.
These are the list of servers available. So here, if you see here, there are community edition and then enterprise edition. Two editions are there. Did you see it right? So CE and then E, enterprise edition. So what was the difference between enterprise edition and community edition? So these people, Mule is freeware only, but so some of the connectors are available in only enterprise edition, because that should we need to buy it actually. Understood. So in enterprise edition, some of the connectors are not free. We need to buy it. So, but if you go for community edition, all are free only. But some of the connectors are not available in the community edition. Is it clear?
Oh,
So there is a two types of version, community edition and enterprise edition. If you go for community edition, it's a freeware completely, but 100% connectors are not available in the community edition. Some of the connectors are, so we need to buy it, right? So in case of enterprise edition, so all whatever the community edition have, that connectors are also available in enterprise edition, but we need to buy it if it is an enterprise edition. Understood? So
yes.
you are getting right. Connectors means already built-in components actually. Whatever the built-in components, there is a palette is here. There is a palette is here. In the palette, so we have components is available. If you see here, suppose I want to connect a database. The database is connector already available, right? So what we need to
Yes.
do, so we need to choose just configuration only. No need to write logic for how to connect the database. That's not required to write any code further. Just what we need to do, just choose the configuration. That's it. We have to enter, so what database you are trying to connect, what schema it is, then what was the username and password. That information you have to enter it, you have to configure it. No need to write the logic for connecting the database. Like in Java we'll write it, right? JDBC. First we have to create the object
Yes.
for the data, object for the driver, right? JDBC driver. Then we have to call that particular method. Then we have to enter schema and all. Not required to write a whole thing actually, because these connectors these connectors already available. Just we need so this connector I am talking about, if it is enterprise edition, all the connectors are available. If it is a community edition, some of the connectors are not available, right?
Okay.
That,
So if in case some of the connectors which are in enterprise edition we need in community means how can we do that?
that's
Is
what.
there any
So
process?
we need to implement the code actually. So internally what happened, so whatever the connector is not here, that is nothing but a Java code actually. If not there,
Okay.
if you are using in a community edition, if you are in a community edition, we can able to write that code actually, that Java code we can write it, we can implement our custom connector. Understood?
Yes.
Suppose think like this, the database connector is not there in the community edition. Suppose. Okay.
Okay.
So you know the functionality, what was the database will do, right? So we
Yes.
can able to create our custom connector. Understood? So that custom connector, in the custom connector, we can able to write Java code. So then accordingly we can use that connector. Next time onwards we can drag and drop that connector. You can place that into palette. Okay. Next time onwards
Yes.
we can use that connector.
Yes.
Understood?
Got it.
Already existing connectors are there. If not there, we can able to implement our custom connector. If you know the Java code, then you can able to create our custom connector. For that, they gave a facility. There is an option called dev kit actually. Using the dev kit, so if you implement it, so the configuration and all automatically will come. So for that, we need to write the code actually. Java code we need to write the code. Understood?
So
So
once we create a custom connector, so we can use it anytime.
yes,
So it
that's
will not.
what. Yeah. once you've done that now, so we have to zip that code, right? That is nothing but Java code, right? You have to place like the same only. Install new softwares are there now. You have to add that plugin into there. If you go for, these are all the plugins, right? That plugin we have to keep it here. So that time what happened, next time onwards, that is available in this palette with your custom image, with your custom name. That component is available here. That component we can share to other people also. Understood? Once you've done the Java project, we have to zip it. We have to share to other people. What other people will do? So they will go to the help, then install new software. They will upload accordingly into the Eclipse Anypoint Studio plugins. So that time what happened? So even their palette also that is available automatically, that will come into the palette. Then they will do drag and drop. Understood? Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, got it.
So that's the thing actually. If you that's what that generally that will taken care by client actually. So generally client will buy enterprise edition, then no problem, no issue will get it. Some of the people, some of the clients won't buy enterprise edition. That time what happen? If we need to implement a new code, I mean new connector, then we have to use dev kit. We have to implement. They will give time to
Okay.
implement that new connector.
Okay.
Okay. Suppose you are in an enterprise edition. Suppose there is a new database came, or else there is a new thing come. These people all still keep on implementing the connectors, keep on implementing the new things, right? Millions of people. Okay. If not there, what we'll do? Suppose we faced actually we had faced the problem. There is a one new database is come, MapRDB, right? So that connector is not available here. That time what we'll do?
Okay.
So we need to implement that. We need to write the Java code. Okay, we need to use that dev kit. Okay, so we need to implement the Java code. So we need to zip it. We have to share to others also. That it's a open source, right? So you can upload anywhere. Everybody can use it actually. If you upload in a public, then they can also use it. If you see,
Okay.
if you want to see all the connectors code that is available in the Git actually, you can able to see how they implement, what they did internally. Okay,
Okay.
so that's the thing. If connector is not available, that's a process. If you are in community edition also, we can able to implement. So that option also available. Then where we are.
Mm.
So then here, understood, right? We have to add the server like that. So why we need to add the server? So why we need to means here once you've done the application, we need to deploy into somewhere else, right? Suppose if you done the Java application, that is a web application, think like that. You done, there is a Java application. We'll choose dynamic application, right? Dynamic
Yes.
application, we done that. So then we need to deploy in Tomcat or else WebLogic, somewhere else we need to deploy it, right? Otherwise, how will see the output? Understood? If it is a normal
Yes.
Java program, we have to use that JVM. We can able to see that output in the console itself, right? But that is not a
Yes.
normal. It's a web application. So how we'll see the output in the web application? For that we need to deploy somewhere else, right? Deploy means we have to create that var file. We have to copy paste into somewhere else in the Tomcat. There is an option called web apps. In that web apps we have to keep it, right? So once you run the Tomcat, then you can able to see. Understood?
Yes. Yes.
That is a Java related thing actually. Just we done the application, just we have to deploy into somewhere else, means in the Tomcat. So once you run the Tomcat, you can able to see the output. Here
Yes.
also same thing actually. Once we done the application, we need to deploy into the server. So that server we are trying to add it here.
Okay. That.
Okay, this is the server. So choose the latest server, mail server runtime 3.8. Anyway, choose that enterprise edition. Anyway, this is 1 month only trial version. Again we need to delete it, again we have to unzip it, use accordingly. So once you choose that, it will ask next check, it will ask the agreement also, choose the agreement, I agree, something like that. Okay, then finish it, it will ask the restart, then restart your Anypoint Studio. Then next time onwards that will appear in the dialog. Is it clear? So that is the way to add this runtime server. So by default this is there. If you want to add any new version, understood, right? So my client
Yes.
was using some 3.7 or else 3.5 or else 3.6. But 3.6 is not there. We need to add same way. Understood?
Okay.
That's it. Then I'm trying to create a project name, something like hello world. Okay, so choose the other options here. Use Maven. So these are if you use this, there's a Maven. It will, your project will be Mavenized. I mean that project becomes a Maven project. We'll see in future how to create this Maven project and all. As of now, we'll see normal project. Okay, that is a Mavenized project means that form file and all will come. POM form file is the form.xml that will come. Next one is there is an option called add API kit component also. So we'll see these are all options how we'll use in the future. As of now, I'm just
Okay.
clicking the next and choose the server. So what server? Suppose here multiple servers are there. Choose that accordingly. So which server you want to use it, just select it. Then click next. So same as this. See here I am using Java 1.8. So this Mule Studio, Anypoint Studio, it will support more than 1.7. Actually it won't support lower versions. So in your mission first you have to install Java version more than 1.7 or else 1.7. Okay now. So then that will pick up automatically here environment. Next one is click here. Next. So here see this hello world SRC target will come. Click finish. Okay, by default this structure will come.
Hello world.
Yeah. See this is the project structure will come like this. It is almost a
Okay.
Java project structure only, but slight difference.
Mm.
See this here. First it will come SRC main app, that is one folder. Next one is SRC main API, SRC main Java, like that it will come. So what we need to keep in this, so under that SRC main app, so we need to keep flows. Here yesterday we discussed about, here everything is nothing but a flow, right? So it's nothing but XML file. So as of now nothing is there, right? Just we created. So internally what happens, see this here, it will generate that XML also.
Okay.
Okay, no, as of now flow is not there, only metadata is the top level header. It was placing already by default. So there is nothing but XML. So here three views are there. If you want to see design view, click that message flow. So here this is a design view. If you drag and drop it, that will come here. So where do we need to write that? Suppose as of now that is given by default hello world.xml. Tomorrow I want to write one more XML, right? So what we need to do, right click on this, choose new, then choose that mail configuration file. Here we need to enter that XML file name. Okay, no?
Mm-hmm.
So that way you can add new XMLs. Okay. So as of now nothing is there in the flow. I will try to explain all the folders. Once you're done, then I will drag and drop the things. So in the flows, in the SRC main app, we have to keep on add that XML accordingly our requirement. Okay. So then here mule pp.properties, that is by default it will come. Then mule deploy.properties. So here mule deploy.properties, whatever the flows you added, right, whatever the XMLs will added, it will keep on adding. that will by default it will come. No need to you no need to add it. As of now only one XML, right? Tomorrow we'll add one more XML that will come here with comma separately. Okay,
Okay.
that is taken care by Anypoint Studio itself. So that is the first folder. So next folder is src main app. Here why they mention the bucket flows, FLOWS flows in the lower version, of MuleSoft. Now we are using 3.8, 3.8, right? In the lower versions, there is no this folder actually. So simply they mention flows FLOWS. That's why they mention FLOWS in the bracket. So next one is src main API. In the src main API, so we need to keep some RAML file. So yesterday we discussed about, right? So we'll use a RAML also. What is the purpose of the RAML? We need to restrict some of our input and output. So we are getting request from the client. Okay, I want to restrict that input from the client whenever we get it. Similarly, output also I want to restrict it. So the type of RAML thing, schema and all, and we will discuss in future of that information. So we have to keep it into the src main API. Is it clear? So next
Yes.
one is, if you write any Java classes, if your code demands, we need to write some Java code. The Java code we need to keep it into under src main Java. Like that we need to segregate it actually. In the Java folder, we have to keep it all the Java classes. In the API, we need to keep it all the API related stuff like RAML, schema, examples like that. We need to keep it in under API. Under app, we need to keep it all the flows, whatever the flows you are implementing in future. That XML, so that flow is nothing but XML here. So that we need to keep it under app folder. After that, there is a resource folder, src main resource folder. So what we need to keep into the resources folder. In the resources folder, we need to keep API environment specific information. Like, so now we are in the development mode, right? So tomorrow, once you've done the application, we'll push your code into some testing environment, or else some production environment, or else UAT, BAT, like that. We have a different environments, right? Once you've done the code, we need to push one by one, right? So that time,
Yes.
suppose you are connecting into the database, right? That now we are connecting dev database. If you go to the production, the credentials got changed, right? Now you are connecting database, that user ID password is mule123. If you go to the production, that the credentials got changed, right? That is not mule123. Understood?
Yes.
That is another will come. So we need to create some external properties file for that. Suppose we are we have three environments. You have to create a dev.external properties file, test.external properties file, then production.external properties file. Then we have to keep that external properties file under resources folder. So why we need to create this external properties file? So that's what credentials got changed in environment to environment. That's why we need to keep that external that credentials thing, login credentials thing. We have to maintain into the resources folder. I mean external properties file. In the flow, in our flow, we need to get dynamically. Tomorrow anything changes happen related to database. That information we need to keep into the external file. We have to open that external file. We have to change it. Understood.
Okay.
So we have to
Yes.
get that dynamically, that properties file, properties information. So that's why we need to maintain environment specific. Understood. So that
Yes.
environment specific external properties, whatever the environment specific related things, we need to keep under resources folder. Understood? So that is
Yes.
similarly log4j also. So by default log4j will come. If you want to change any log4j things, we need to change under this log4j.xml. So this is for logs purpose actually. Next one is this is WSDL thing actually. Yesterday we discussed about WSDL, right? Web service description language, right?
Yeah,
If you
yeah.
are implementing any SOAP related stuff, then you have to keep that WSDL file under this. Okay. So next one is SRC test Java. This is also it's related to Java only. But what was the difference between SRC main Java and SRC test Java? SRC main Java, we have to keep it source code, source Java files. But whereas in SRC test Java, so we need to keep test classes actually. So here, once we done the Java code or else once we done the configuration like XMLs, we need to write some test cases. That functionality is working or not, we need to mock it actually. Mock it means that that connector is working or not, that particular, suppose I written the code for connecting the database or for connecting some Salesforce. So we need to mock it actually, we need to write some test case, test class, that is also Java code only. We need to write it, sorry, that functionality is working or not, we need to mock it actually, we need to write some test class. The test class information we need to keep under test Java. Okay, now that is also Java code only. We need to write, we need to test that the functionalities are working or not. We need to write some method. Okay, we need to execute it.
Okay.
So that information we need to write under SRC test Java. So means that placeholder is for test classes. We'll see in future how we'll write the test classes and all. Don't bother about that. I'm trying to explain what, so this all the folders what we need to keep it. Okay, no.
Yeah. Yeah,
Similarly,
one second.
yeah, Charma.
Here WSDL files,
Hmm.
anyway, we are not going to use any web services, right? We are using only MuleSoft. So still, do we need these WSDL files?
Yes, because I see. Suppose some third party exposing some SOAP API. Understood, right? So we need to consume it. That time what happened, we need to keep that visitor into here.
Okay, okay.
Yesterday we discussed about whoever, suppose we are trying to connect Salesforce, they will share the visitor file,
Yes,
right? They will
yes.
share the visitor file. That visitor file we need to keep under SRC mains visitor.
Okay, got it, got it.
Or else if that is available in a, if they will share any URL, directly we can use that URL. Or else we can keep that information under visitor also. Okay, no? That is a placeholder for
Okay,
that. So next one
okay,
is similarly SRC test M unit. Here test Java, there is a M unit also for test cases purpose only. If you write any M unit, right, that information you have to keep under SRC test M unit. What was the difference between these test cases and these test cases? If you write the test case using out of MuleSoft, there is a functional test case is there. That is a Java related stuff actually. If you use that information, you have to use you have to keep under SRC test.java. So already Mule provide some components for writing test cases. That is nothing but a M unit. So this is the J unit, this is the M unit. So if you use that M unit, we have to use this. We have to keep that information under M unit. Okay.
okay.
Similarly,
Yeah.
SRC test resources. Here SRC main resources, right? So in the in the test classes, in the test classes, we have to use some external properties file configuration, right? That external properties configuration file we have to keep under here. If you see here, these are both almost same, right? Is SRC main resources, SRC test resources. SRC main resources
Yes.
will place external files, right? These external
Yeah.
files will use in our configuration, in our configuration, in our Java code if you need. Similarly, we have a test classes, right? We have a J unit and M unit. We need to use some external thing, right? External properties file for this also, for this executing also. For this we need some resources. That resources we need to keep under SRC test resources. Understood?
Yes, yes, got it.
Yeah. Simple. So this external properties file we have to use in our main flow, in our Java class, right? In our main resources, main Java class. So here also we need to, if you want to run these test cases, we need to use some external properties file, external configuration file, right? That information it will
Yes.
pick up from the SRC test resources. Understood?
Okay.
So next,
Yes, yes.
yeah, next one is this is a and this is a configuration actually that whole libraries it will take it by default. No need to bother about that. So next one is this a lab Java library that will by default it will come. That's a folder actually. These are the main folders. Okay. So next, so this hello world.xml. Next one is I'm trying to drag and drop the components.
Okay.
First component is HTTP. HTTP is the connector. Say we can use inbound as well as outbound. Okay. So what is
Okay.
meant by inbound? What is meant by outbound? Inbound mean I just drag and drop it, right? So see this, I will just select it, just type for whatever the component you want. Just type it. It can search and it will give suggestions also. Okay, just drag and drop this like this simply. Okay, from the palette, this is nothing but a palette. From the palette we just drag and drop here, that will come here. Okay,
Okay.
so again, so this is the explorer, all the projects will come here whenever you create. So this is the console, all the logs will display here. So this is a palette, all the components will appear here. So this is nothing but a what we call, this is a middle thing. In this three parts will come. So message flow means designing, next one is global elements, next one is configuration XML. In the configuration XML, if you see here, I just drag and drop it, right? See this, it got
Yes, sir.
created one flow. Internally it will create the XML file. Okay, there is a
Okay.
three views you can see. Okay, and just select this. We need to enter configuration actually. This will access a inbound outbound actually. If you see this line, right, I'm dragging one more. If you see this line, one dotted line is appear now. Can you see?
Yes,
One
sir.
dotted line is appear, right? If you drag that HTTP connector before the drag line, that is nothing but an inbound connector, means it will take the input. Okay, so
Okay.
if you drag next to the line, that is behave like a outbound connector.
Okay.
Inbound connector means it will take the input, from the client, from the source system. Okay, if you drag next
Okay.
to the line, it will access a outbound connector. Okay, two-way direction. If you see here, inbound outbound request and reply kind of thing, it will take the request and again once done it will give the reply also. These two arrows appear now.
Okay.
And then
Yes, yes.
coming to outbound connector. Outbound connector means it will hit to the target system. Understood? You are taking the
Yes.
input, you are giving to the target system. That is a middleware will do, right? Main where we'll play it actually, we need to take input from some client, we need to do some modification in the middle, then we need to hit to the target system. Once done, whatever the target system will give the output, that output we need to give it back. So because it's a request reply kind of thing, right? It's a two-way direction. Once you take the input from the user, then do some operation here, then coming back and give it to the client back. Understood?
Okay. Yes, yes.
So that's the thing actually. So this is nothing but outbound connector. This will take care to hit to the target system. This will take the input, then do some modification here accordingly your functionality. Once that is done, see the arrow that will finally it will come back with output. Then it will give to the client who you are requesting, right? Who you are requesting, it will come back and it will give it. Understood?
Okay.
So that is
Okay.
nothing but inbound or outbound connector. So now it is an inbound connector. It can able to take the input. Understood? Suppose you are
Hmm.
in Facebook, just we are trying to log in facebook.com, right? So what happened internally, it will hit to the server, right? That will run somewhere
Yes.
else, right? It will hit it, it will come back with the login page. Understood? So here
Yes.
also same thing happened. You are requesting some information with some data. Suppose we are giving some opportunity creation. We are giving some payload, right? So some opportunity name, opportunity amount, like that we are giving 10 fields. So it will hit to the target system. Once that is done, with unique ID it will come back. Opportunity got successfully created with opportunity ID, right? So with opportunity
Yes.
ID it will come back. That opportunity ID we have to share to the we are requesting. That will share to the that guy. Understood?
Okay.
So that's the thing
Yes.
happened here. So next I'm trying to set the configuration. Double click on this. Double click on this HTTP connector. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the configuration here. This is the configuration here. No need to write any code here. Just choose the
Mm-hmm.
configuration. That's it. This is the HTTP configuration. If you want to change the display name, you can change it actually. Where is the display name? Here. Here it's the display name now. You can change that
Yes.
name
Yes.
accordingly if you want to change it. Then I'm choose the configuration, creating the configuration. Here option is there connector configuration. Clear.
Hmm.
Just click this plus symbol.
Okay.
Another pop-up will come. Another dialog will come. So choose. This is a 0.0 nothing but it's a local host. So you can choose local host also. Tomorrow
Okay.
in the place of that, so we can keep it some public IP, we can keep it some domain name. Understood? But we are in local host.
Okay.
That's why I choose that local host option. If you want to keep it some domain name, some public IP address, we need to enter that remote. Understood?
Yes.
So then accordingly you can change the port number. Okay, accordingly you can
Okay.
change the port number. If any base path is there, we can enter, then click that. Then it will come here HTTP listener configuration is done. You can give some path. Hello. This is nothing but a HTTP configuration. This is you are enter some HTTP localhost, some hello world slash context path will enter now. That context path
Yes.
is nothing but this.
Okay.
Clear, right? Let's see other fields when you will use add header and all we'll see later. As of now, there is a basic configuration. Choose. Okay, now so I selected that error gone. Previously some error is displaying here, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's it. That is done. So next one is I'm trying to display some data. That's why I choose some set payload. Okay, now see this. That arrow will come. That set payload. So in the set payload, we'll do some hard coded data here. Okay, just I enter hard coded data. In future, what we need to do,
Okay.
we need to get dynamic data actually. So there is a payload is there. If you are sending any payload, that payload will display it
Okay.
actually. Right? As of now, I just display hard coded information. Okay, so just I choose it. That's it. Two components only. That's it. If you see internally, so see this. What happen? It will generate that under configuration file it will generate this. First component is HTTP. Okay. Next
Okay.
component
Yeah.
is set payload. Welcome to MuleSoft. See the connector configuration, whatever the connector configuration we did, right? That configuration part, top level will mention. It's a global, right? It's a mention top level that will use all
Okay.
in your flow. Okay, now
Okay.
this coming to here, this is a configuration, all the XML view. This is a design view. This is a global elements. If you see here that just now we created connector configuration, right? That is related to global, right? So in the flow, only once we created actually. So whenever you want, we can able to use it actually. I'm trying to edit this.
Okay.
See this. That pop-up is coming.
Hmm.
Understood. That is nothing but a global element actually. Even our Java also some top level will define some variables. We can use anywhere else, right? Whenever you want.
Okay.
Understood.
Yeah.
Similarly here also, sometimes we have to create some singleton classes. We have to use whole flow. Like that we have to create global elements. Okay, now? So just simple flow I created actually. Then I'm trying to deploy this. So how to deploy this application? Right click on that. So then run as Mule application.
Okay.
Understood, right?
Just
Once
like
you've done
Mule.
the application, right click on the application, run as Mule application. So internally, I didn't internally some we choose that server, right? Mule server, runtime server. So in
Yes.
that server, it will deploy it actually.
Okay.
Okay, now so see this deployed successfully. Hello world default deployed
Okay.
successfully. If anything issue, it will show us actually. Any issue happened when deploying. So it will show you
Okay.
accordingly. We need to correct it. We need to rectify that error. We need to deploy it. If we deploy successfully, then we need to show the output, right? So then how will see the output? So what we enter HTTP, right? Localhost. So what was our port number? 8011. So what was the context path? That is base path. So nothing but hello, right? Just click it. See this? Welcome to MuleSoft. Whatever you enter, right? See this, some logs also will display it here. Two logs will display. That is taken care by your Anypoint Studio. That's server logs. Understood? This is a way to write the code.
Okay.
Okay, no?
So here the port 8011, we can use any ports or some
Yes,
default
yes,
ports are there.
any ports you can use it, but it should not conflict actually. In your machine, that should run only one port, that unique port actually. Suppose you are running, sometimes your operating system also running some same ports actually. We want to use that port actually. Mostly whatever you are
Okay.
using, it won't. Suppose you are in Skype, right? Skype will use some port number, right? If you use that port number, that conflict will get it actually. At that time it will show us no issue. While deploying time only, it will identify the port. So boss address already bind, it will use some error actually. Address already bind. That time we need to change
Okay.
that port. We need to change that port and then we need to deploy it.
Okay. Can you once go to run the application? I saw some of the options there except Mule application. Run as, yeah. So this is normal like Java application we are running in our local host, correct?
Yes.
So what about the run on server? In which case we can go
That is
for?
Java, no?
Okay, okay.
Runtime server is
So for,
Java. Our web applications are there, no? Now web
yeah, yeah.
application will do run as Java server, run on some server Tomcat like that. No? So that one
Okay,
will use
okay.
that server,
So
run as
that's
server.
not related to Mule.
No. So this only related to
Okay.
mail, run as mail application, run on mail configuration, mail application configure. If you simultaneously run more than one application, suppose here I have two applications. I want to deploy two applications, right? As of now, I deployed only
Hmm.
one application. That time we need to run as You need to run as mule configuration, application config.
Okay.
Okay, now so this is a way. Just try to download it. Try to download Anypoint Studio and choose
Yes.
that. Place some connectors. So use some this type of components. As of now, at least create this sample flow. Okay, HTTP connector, drag and drop it. Then use some set payload. Okay, in that write some hard coded content, then deploy that application, then try to display that output whatever you mentioned there. Okay, now I
Yes.
will show you
And
one more component. Yeah, tell me.
yeah. There are some connectors, right? So how can I know completely in which case what connector I need to
Yeah,
use?
suppose. Yeah, that's what. So that will come in future anyway. So suppose as of now, this is a GET request, right? Just we are hitting, we are not posting any information. Understood.
Yes.
Suppose I want to post some information that will receive by this HTTP component. It will go here accordingly. Suppose think like this. Set payload have some data I want to insert into a database, right? Then next time we need to choose database connector. Okay, now in the database
Okay.
we have to we have to add that configuration. Database configuration we need to add it, which database we are using, MySQL, Oracle or else something generic database. The IP configuration we have to choose it. Accordingly we have to fill that information. Then which type of operation we need to use, either select or else get or insert update, you need to choose it. Accordingly we need to set the configuration. Then whatever you are getting information from the user, right, getting,
Yes.
so that information it will push it.
Okay.
What configuration will use, it will decide by your requirement. Understood.
Okay.
Suppose
So
I want to
depends on the
insert, yeah,
requirement.
exactly. So I want to insert the record into the database, then we'll go for database connector, or else what else, something SFTP, something Amazon. See here, that's what, uh, if according to your requirement actually. My requirement
Okay.
is I want to use some, I want to convert data from one format to another format. Then you have to use that accordingly. What format you are getting. So what format you have to convert it accordingly. You have to choose that particular operation. Suppose here SFDC is not there. So that, see, Salesforce is there actually. So that sales, when you use Salesforce, I want to insert the recording to Salesforce. That time you have to drag and drop that Salesforce connector.
Okay.
Which component you will use, that will decided by your requirement only.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, no?
Got it.
Understood. I will show one more actually. That is a logger is there. This logger is for logging purpose. We can display that information in the logger. And there's a payload. Okay. I want to see that what information getting. Now hit it.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, payload will display. See this logger also display. Whatever you mention that logger, no? Logger also display. If you want to display any information, we have to use that logger. The to logger info level, what level you want. In the Java, we'll see the log4j concept. Now, you are aware, right? Log4j configuration. What level you want. Info level is default, or else error level, debug level, trace level, warn level. Accordingly, that will trigger actually. If you want to say error, if you keep it error level, whenever error will get, that time that will
Hmm.
trigger, that will display actually. Okay, now.
Okay.
This is the thing. So just to try to download it and use it and try to deploy it.
Sure. Sure.
If
I'll
you
try
have,
today.
yeah, if you have any issues, tomorrow we'll connect your mission, then we'll see.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
Today I'll try.